Maintain and support relationships with children and young people. Learning outcome 1. Be able to communicate with children and young people. Communicate with children and young people in a way that is appropriate to the individual, using both conventional language and body language. Communicating effectively means tailoring language, tone, and gestures to suit the age, ability, and needs of the child or young person. For example, when speaking with younger children, I use simple, clear words and a gentle tone and get down to their eye level. With older children or teenagers, I maintain a respectful tone and speak in a more mature manner. Body language plays a crucial role. Smiling, maintaining eye contact as culturally appropriate, and open posture help children feel secure and welcomed. Using gestures or visuals can support understanding, especially for children with additional needs or those learning English as an additional language. Actively listen to children and young people and value what they say, experience, and feel. Active listening involves giving full attention, showing genuine interest, and responding thoughtfully. I demonstrate this by nodding, making affirming sounds like I see, or that sounds fun, and reflecting back what the child has said. For instance, if a child shares a concern, I stop what I'm doing to listen, avoid interrupting, and ask clarifying questions to show I value their input. This helps build trust and encourages them to express their feelings freely. Check that children and young people understand what is communicated. To ensure understanding, I ask open-ended questions, encourage children to repeat instructions in their own words, and observe their nonverbal cues. For example, after giving directions for an activity, I might say, "Can you tell me what you're going to do first?" This allows me to confirm comprehension and clarify if needed. Learning outcome 2. Be able to develop and maintain relationships with children and young people. Demonstrate how to establish rapport and respectful, trusting relationships with children and young people. Building rapport involves being approachable, showing empathy, and consistently treating children with kindness and respect. I learn their names quickly, show an interest in their likes and dislikes, and maintain confidentiality. Respect is shown by listening without judgment, following through on promises, and being fair. Trust builds over time through consistent positive interactions and being emotionally available. Give attention to individual children and young people in a way that is fair to them and the group as a whole. It is important to balance individual needs with group dynamics. For example, if a child needs extra help with a task, I provide support while encouraging others to remain engaged in their activities. I use inclusive strategies such as rotating attention and using group games that allow everyone to participate. Fairness doesn't always mean treating everyone the same, but meeting each child's unique needs while maintaining group harmony. Demonstrating supportive and realistic responses to children and young people's questions, ideas, suggestions, and concerns is crucial. When children ask questions or share ideas, I listen carefully and respond positively, even if their idea isn't feasible. For example, if a child suggests a trip that isn't possible, I might say, "That sounds like fun. Let's think of something similar we could do here." Being honest, age-appropriate, and encouraging helps children feel valued and respected. Providing children and young people with reasons for actions when appropriate is very important. Children are more likely to cooperate when they understand the reasons behind rules or instructions. I always try to explain why something is necessary. We need to tidy up now so that we have space for our next activity. This promotes understanding, cooperation, and independence. Encouraging children and young people to make choices for themselves is key. I regularly offer opportunities for choice, such as selecting books to read, choosing between activities, or deciding how to complete a task. This supports their autonomy, builds confidence, and fosters decision-making skills. Even small choices like picking colors for a craft help children feel empowered and respected. Learning outcome 3. Be able to support relationships between children and young people and others in the setting. Support children and young people to communicate effectively with others. I model respectful communication and encourage children to express their feelings, ask for help, and listen to others. Activities like role play, storytelling, and group discussions help build these skills. I support quieter children by pairing them with peers they are comfortable with and giving them time to speak without pressure. Encourage children and young people to understand other people's individuality, diversity, and differences. This is done through inclusive books, discussions, and activities that celebrate different cultures, abilities, and families. I encourage acceptance by explaining that everyone is unique and that differences make us special. I challenge stereotypes by using diverse resources and addressing discriminatory language or behavior calmly and constructively. Help children and young people to understand and respect other people's feelings and points of view. Through empathy-focused activities, circle time, and stories, I help children recognize and name emotions in themselves and others. I prompt questions like, how do you think they felt when that happened? I guide them to understand that everyone sees situations differently and that it's okay to disagree respectfully. Support children and young people to develop group agreements about the way they interact with others. Group agreements are created collaboratively during circle time, allowing children to contribute ideas like we listen to each other or we share toys. This promotes ownership and accountability. I reinforce these agreements through praise, reminders, and visual prompts displayed in the setting. Demonstrate ways of encouraging and supporting children and young people to deal with conflict for themselves. I teach conflict resolution techniques such as using calm words, taking turns to speak, and active listening. I might guide a conversation using phrases like, tell them how you felt, and what can we do to make it better? Over time, children become more confident in resolving disagreements with less adult intervention.